Well, good morning. So over the last week, while I'm recovering from being sick and stuff, we've been going around on, it's called Le Bon Coin here, which is kind of like a Craigslist, and buying more IBCs, which are to hold the water for the garden. My goal is to get 8 of them. We've managed to find, like these ones are about 174 euros each, which was a lot. They're, not what we really want to pay. You can go to Europe, or sorry, into UK and other places, and even in Canada they're cheaper, and the States they're cheaper. So we've been looking for used ones that have been used for either food or, holding water. So we managed to get 4 so far, which is great because they're half the price of what we were paying for these ones. We're just going to get one last one, which we're looking for, and we think you got a good deal. Might get one for like 50 euros, which is like about 50 American. And the idea is I want to move everything from this section where I had it initially put it, and I want to put it at the back over there, and I want to stack them 2 high. So I have a row of 4 and a row of 4. Hook that all up, and then that gets pumped from what gets caught off the roof gets captured into these, and then also the water from the grey water goes in there as well. And then the idea is I just got to add a section there, and then it will continue to pump out to here, and I'll have to leave the pumps in this section kind of at that end down there. I will then have all this area free. It's like the lawnmowers and get the garden tools easier. And if we ever, start having to charge a car, we get a car charger, we'll put it on that wall, that kind of thing. So it just seems like it was kind of a bad choice to put it here, but I thought was going to happen, didn't. So yeah, we're going to put that back wall. But in the meantime, in order to have that happen, this garage is an absolute disaster. I seem to do that every winter. I just kind of come in, I guess because it's a bit cold or whatever, and I just put stuff down. I got to clean all this off. I got to move things around. I'm going to have a friend come over tomorrow. We've got these huge, big, I guess they would have been like kind of the main beams that were in the house, or at some point in the house. They've cut those, and they're 3 meters long, and they're like about 1/2 meter by 1/2 meter beams like this. I think they're oak. I eventually want to make them into like a bar or something. I don't know, use the wood for something. But yeah, got a lot of working to do. So we get him to move those, and then I've got to move all these tiles, the leftover tiles from the other rooms and stuff like that, which I'm not sure I'm going to keep them all, but I don't want to get rid of them right now. There's a whole lot of space upstairs, but it's just getting up the ladder with, how am I going to get up big containers and stuff like that. So on my plan will eventually to make a elevator for that, but it's just so far down the road that I'm not worrying about that right now. So the main goal right now is to get some space cleared, get the wood moved, and get all these containers stacked and put over there with the proper connections and pipes. We're still waiting, of course, on connections and pipes. Things take a while to arrive in France. But yeah, you watch me clean some stuff again, like every year. what I have to do next is take my old bins, IBCs, and the new ones I've got. I think 2 of them are really clean, so I won't worry about those, but there's the other 2 that we got last. I'm gonna give them a rinse out. So when my hose isn't long enough, I'd like to take it to where the edge of the garage is and kind of do it out towards the street, but I can't. So I'm gonna drag all the bins into this kind of section here with the walkways, and then hose it out in there. Start putting them back in the room, or back at the back of the room, because I need this area to be able to move everything over there that's over there now, and it's one of those things back and forth. So anyways, let's get moving on these bins, see if we can get it cleaned up, because there's an absolute ton of like little bits of fine silt in the bottom of it. It's kind of like mud. So what I'm going to be doing is upping my game as far as filters. I have one that goes through like a sponge filter. It's for kind of like for ponds. You can look back at old videos to see that. But yeah, it works well. It's just, I think we need another one at the end of it to do like a fine filter. Yeah, so let's, anyways, let's get this sludge out, and yeah, got to disconnect all these attachments over here, or the connectors, put it outside, and put them back in the room. Let's get on that. And now that I got some space over here, I'm going to move all of the ladders and all the stuff over in this corner over to here. I'm going to put it on the, probably against this wall here, something like that. I'm going to go through all these containers and filters and stuff like that and the hoses, disconnect it all, and move it over to where we're going to be putting it. Anyways, getting there. I put these up, managed to stack these up on my own. We're still missing 2 IBC containers. What I found out is that at the bottom of these, the plastic ones, there's a section down the middle that stops you from getting your hands in to the cap and allowing a breather hose to come out. So what every one of these ones in the bottom has to do is it has to, because I'm going to connect them all together, it's going to have a way for the air to escape and come in. So I'm going to be running like a hose up and up to the same height as the very top container. And then that's going to basically allow, when the water gets poured into here, it'll go to all these ones in the lower bit, and then it'll slowly work its way up, and then it will flow down into the ones below it. And as those ones fill up, it will let the air out, if that makes sense. So what I couldn't do with the plastic ones is get my hand in here and put the cap on and be able to have that hose come off on it. So I'm going to be drilling a top in each of these caps, a little hole, and it's basically going to be, I would put like an elbow bend in there. And I've not found washers yet, so I'm probably just going to caulk it, or like do an adhesive or something like that that's waterproof to stop the water from coming up. And then basically I'll run a hose out, a little fine hose, like 16 millimeter hose out the side and then up, and then that allows the venting to happen. But anyways, yeah, I can't do it with those ones. So the one that we did buy one, it was a really good deal that we're probably gonna end up selling. But we found a place that has more of these metal ones. So the plastic ones, they're stackable. One way you can know is because they've got the horizontal braces on them. Some of these metal ones, I think they can go like 4 high, full of water or whatever. But I don't want to. I'm not going to try to do that. We probably don't need it anyways. But we are going to get another 2, and we found some metal ones, but they're about an hour and a half drive away. So we're going to go an hour and a half, we'll go for lunch and come back, bring them back with us. But yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, if you don't see these horizontal lines, that's what kind of helps you know that they're stackable, especially when you're buying used ones for a good price. So never try to stack ones like the other one that I bought that just got straight up and down lines, because I think the pressure would push out on and then it collapse it. And the other thing with these ones is that they need to have a lip on the bottom that hooks in. Like you can't slide these. There's like a little ledge that hooks into the top of this bar. And they're actually, it looks to be like the more reinforced as well. There's almost like a double bar all the way around to take that extra weight. So yeah, that's the plan. So what I have to do now is I'm just going to hook up these 6 and get the filter hooked up, which is over here. This is from before. It's worked pretty well. I just needed a bit of a clean this spring, which I did, and we're good to go again. I'm gonna hook that up, and eventually I'll have it sitting kind of out here. I'm gonna move all this junk. I've just been too busy to do that. And then we're going to insert another bit in here. I've measured it, it fits. I did get the 4 on the bottom along once, so this should get in there once I get rid of all this stuff. I'm gonna punch a hole through this over here, which is gonna go out to the pool room, which then will go kind of across behind all the pumps and stuff like that in the pool room, and in and out. And basically it will connect up under the patio, because I've left an area exposed where I could hook in pipes that come from the water collection system. I got that pump that's under the ground, pumps it up and into here from the roof and everything else. And then I should be able to store with that. I'm kind of rushing a little bit before we get the next 2 bins just to get something going, because we're supposed to be having a week of a lot of rain. So I'm not going to fill this up in a week. So I'd rather get going and start filling it and then kind of inserting in the other ones as I can shut everyone off here. I can just turn them all off and then disconnect the plumbing and add in the other 2. Anyways, so let's finish up with this little project. So what I did, instead of having it come from my pit where we suck up all the roof water and other water and pump it up through this and all the way into the garage, I'm now putting in a hose or a pipe here that pumps it up and through the pool room and then pumps it into the filter that's going to be in the back of the garage where all the bins are, where all the IBCs are. And then this pipe then takes it from the IBCs and sends it to the garage where it used to be. And that's where I'm going to have my pump that will suck and pull and water all the grass and flowers and stuff like that. So basically I took one pipe, put it off of it like a chute, goes into the IBCs, out of the IBCs, then to the pump to water the grass. So that's what I've done out here. Eventually I'll cover this all up with blocks or something like that and kind of hide it a bit better. Maybe I'll like an access panel, I don't know, something. But that's way down the road on what I want to do. So anyways, let's get inside and start hooking up all the IBCs. I've realized I made a bit of a mistake. What I was doing is I was going to have the, similar to these, I was going to have these spouts where they all connect up, go on the bottom, shooting up. And then when I went to do the T here like this, I realized if I put it up here, I'm losing, like I'll never be able to get this much water out of the whole thing. So I had to go back. I already had a couple. I just need 4 of them for when we get the other bin over there. It'll be a total of 4 on the bottom. And they're ones that just going to go straight in. So how I'm going to do it is I'll have them go in like this, stick out, and then have the T here like that. So that this entire IBCs, when I go to, if I ever want to wash them out or I want to get rid of the water in them, they'll all drain out properly. So I'll be able to get this stuff out. So little mistake, just think of that when you're going to buy them. What I'm going to be doing also, I'm not sure if I'm going to connect in the middle here and in here, but at both ends, I'll be connecting up and down so that when they can flow like this. I don't think that there's not a huge draw, like there's not a huge immediate, when I run the sprinklers, of water coming out. So I don't really have to worry about the amount of water. If it's a little bit of a slow trickle, it's going to be, you know, if it, worst case, it'll drain this whole bottom half. I'm never going to finish this in a day kind of thing. So even if it sits overnight and then fills up again, it'll be fine. So I don't need a huge amount of water flowing through. So anyways, that's my plan. A little adjustment. We're going to get the bins today after lunch. So I'm going to quickly try to get this bottom row done and connect these up before we head out. See if I can do it. I don't know. But if not, we should be done today. All these bins, which would be fantastic. Oh, and one other little trick is, you might have seen me before, I was using dish soap, because when you go to put these things in like this, there's a rubber seal on the inside, and it's really difficult getting them past. And so if you've got, sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't, a little piece of scrap fine sandpaper, you can take the edge off a little bit, that helps. Just to get a little, sometimes the burrs on there that make it just a little bit wider. You do that. And then you can either put dish soap around the edge of it and then on the inside of the ring, and then that helps it slip in. But I was finding even that wasn't good enough, so I forgot about it, but I had this lubricant stuff, which is kind of a, for potable water. So you can actually use it on this, and it looks a lot like Vaseline. This one's kind of gone a weird color. I think it's kind of aged or something, but it still seems to work. It smells all right. So I think it's just a bit old, but anyways, it should be fine. So I'm going to use that in all these, and that should make it a lot easier to get the connections in, because you really have to push hard if otherwise. So let's get pushing some connections in. Well, I'm up super early this morning. I had to wait for a part, which we got yesterday finally, because I want to have a shut-off valve at this end over here so I can stop it from going to the pump and basically be isolated in case I want to change the pump at the other end or whatever. So last night we had a ton of rain, so we filled all of this yesterday, kind of late evening, and before I went to bed I swapped it over and dropped it in this one because you couldn't get I couldn't get the connection going without this, or these two, all of these ones at least, all connected together. So for right now, I'm going to be, and then basically this morning I had to get up at like 6 a.m. to be able to get this one before it filled. It's got like just a little hair left. So luckily I got to it in time before it overflowed. And then now, whoop, here we go again. So this one's starting to fill now. I tend to get about this much of height. It'll probably come to about here every time it fills up the rainwater collection thing. So we'll see where it gets, but that's kind of where I end up lately, is about that much. So yeah, I've got to quickly finish connecting this, and then put a stopper on the end of it, which is going to be a shut-off valve. I don't even know where it is. I got to find that. I mean, I can always shut the pump off, but still, I'd rather not waste the water. And yeah, let's get this all connected. And then later on, I'll get some help, and I'll get someone to help me lift this one up here. Or I'll just use the wood and push it up again, and hopefully we can start filling these ones as well. But we'll see. I've only got another about 2 hours of rain. So another 2,000 liters over there. If I can just get this section, that buys me a whole day of time probably. And then it's going to start raining next week. So considering it's March, early March, I think we're going to have enough rainwater collected for sure. So anyways, let's get to it. Yeah, made it about there. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5 more fills. And it takes about 15 minutes to do 5, I think, roughly, at this rate of rain anyways. So I have to work around this. But hopefully it'll be all right. This is the connector I was missing. At least for now, I should be able to use this to at least fill the bottom tanks until I move this one on top, and that'll get me through hopefully the big rainstorm today. I guess we give it a go. Let's open all the doors, all the bottom things. That'll give me another 2,200 liters. All right, let's start opening these ones first. The tops are all open enough to vent for now. And as long as all these pipes don't burst on me, we should be good. I'm gonna open them up. I think that's open. There's a safety thing on this you lift up. Get that thing. All right, then open the smallest one first. That's fine, that's fine. Alrighty. Let's give her a go. Now what's happening is this is all Oop, there's a leak here. Where is it? Okay, there's a leak there. Well, that's not good. I don't know if I see any other leaks down there. There's a leak down that end. Ugh. Not my best. What happens when you're Russian? I don't mean that kind of Russian. Seems to be something there that's not working. That one's fixed. Okay, and then that one's fixed. Should be good. Open this one up. Yeah, so these should all now even out. These two over here will eventually fill up. It just takes a while and even out. The next step will be to get the last bin up here and then connect these ones up around like that to form like a loop, and that should allow it all to keep going all the way up. And then, then the final thing is I've got to drill top of these caps and put a vent in, similar to like over here. We're going to go up higher than the thing, if I'll put anything on top or not, but just probably have it above that, poke it into the vents, make sure they're good and sealed. And then, yeah, I should be able to get 8,000 liters in here. But first thing, I'm going to get some breakfast. So I found another little issue, which you can look out for if you ever try to do this yourself, is when in the bottom down there, I couldn't figure out why I couldn't shut the valve to be able to shut these off. So on these things, on the particular brands I have, which are these ones here, I don't know what they are, but they basically go like that. And what happens is when you pull that knob, it pushes it forwards. So when I'm screwing these in and I try to push it forward, it's not able to close all the way. And I couldn't figure out why some of them are working, because they're all the ones at the bottom are all fairly similar. This one's similar, whatever. And that looks like what the issue is. And then I looked at what we bought last year, and it's only on the new ones that this is an issue. And if you look at this adapter, it's very smooth, whereas this one has a bump up, which gives you just a little more space, which is probably the reason why that's all it needs in order for that thing to be able to close, push up against it, and not get stuck by the pipe going into the IBC. So keep an eye out for those. You might want to get the ones with the longer things if they have them where you are. But yeah, that's causing me a bit of trouble trying to figure that out. Let's go get to fixing it. All right, so that's all the basic piping done for now. What I'm going to do is, I'll see if it's too much of an issue with the flow. I can always add another tease in here and here, another one over there if I want, or whatever, just 2 more. But I think that'll be more than enough to let all the water come from all these 4 into these 4. So yeah, that's it. That's this section of it. So that's 8,000 liters, and I've got about 2,000 in it now, which is good. It's going to rain tomorrow or tonight, I'm not sure which one, so I should get another, probably up to here. So all I'm doing at the top for now is I'm just going to fit this in here, have it resting. Just rest this on top, lets a bit of air out. But what I might do is I might do like a connector to kind of bolt it to the top. Maybe drill a hole in here or something, I don't know, yeah. Just by having it loosely on, that's enough to let the air out and fit to the top of these, for these guys. So I'm just going to do that for now. Currently giving it a test run. We've got the hose into the gutter, and it's pumping through this, up and into this one, and I have it closed. So I'm going to wait till I see a little bit, but it looks like it's already up to here. And then I'm going to shut it off. And see if it comes down. Okay. So we have it up to here. Let's see if I open this up and if it sprays everywhere else, we'll see, but it should fill into these, at least most of these lower ones. I don't know if they're all going to vent, but we'll see. Let's give it a go. Lots of water running. I don't see any leaking, so that's a good sign. It should then distribute between all of these bottom ones equally. What if I open these guys? Open these ones fully up. And it should be good. Yeah, it's blowing through here now. So I can hear it running both ways along the top, which is pretty cool, just from the one. Don't see any leaks. I think we're good to go. So what I'm doing next is I need to drill a vent on the top of these. You can buy these lids. I got different size holes because I bought used ones, but you can buy them and they have like a vent thing that goes on top, but they're really expensive. They're like 30 euros, like 30 bucks to get one. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to put in a connector, a 6mm connector, drill a hole through it, put it underneath, and then this will screw up under it to squeeze it together. That's hopefully will work. Not sure. The problem I found is I can't find any washers, rubber gaskets that'll go around this. So what I'm going to do is get some caulking and try it and put that around it when I screw them all together. See if that holds up. It's all a little bit, shall we say, a bit wing and a prayer, but it's worth a shot to save some money. And if not, I'll have to buy them anyways, right? So let's give it a go, see what happens. That sort of worked. Yeah. All right. We have our hole. It should be very, very tight if it even fits, which it probably isn't. Well, it might fit. Going in. Huh. Wow, it actually seems to be working. Fingers crossed. Can I get the bottom on there? Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That works quite well. Let's see if I can get the other side on. Should probably be the problem. Yeah, it fits. We can just get the pipe out from under there. It's very difficult to get in here. I think that should be all right for now. Maybe a few days of testing stuff. And then next, going up, I'm going to put in an elbow with two little clampy things that'll make it shoot up, hopefully. And hopefully there's not too much pressure to make it like that, but we'll see, I guess. Well, that's going to be it for this project. I think I'm going to have some errors, shall we say errors, problems with it. There's probably going to be leaking here and there, and these air vent things that I put in, they're not really intended for this. So it's just some leftover pipe I had from the garden for running drippers everywhere. So we'll see. These might be strong enough joins, and the top of the lids may be strong enough and stuff like that. But if they start leaking, I'll just probably have to replace them and buy new caps. But it's worth a shot since I had extra. So anyways, I've got 8,000 liters now. We had 3,000 last year, and it just kind of got us through, at least the hot part of the summer. So hopefully everything's going to work, and then we're going to be getting rain tomorrow and the next day. So I expect to get up to kind of around this area, and we should be able to save a lot of water. Because what is this, March? So yeah, fingers crossed it all works. And going forward, as of tomorrow, I'm starting to work on the electrics. I've put together a plan for the thermodynamic water heater. And so I know how many hoses I need and air ducts and that sort of stuff. So I'm going to get that ordered, and that'll probably take a couple weeks to come. And then I'm going to start running the chasing tool along the wall behind the baseboards and start testing that out, see the best way to start chasing out the grooves for all the wires in the house. And then, yeah, basically after that, it's just a matter of getting, looking at my plans and getting all the wires in the walls and getting them all the plug sockets all in there and stuff like that and getting them wired up. So hopefully that's going to happen in the next few weeks. Fingers crossed, wish me luck, and I hope to see you in the next vid. Thanks for watching, and give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you liked it. Cheers. One thing I've never noticed before is we have these begonias, which I think were supposed to be annuals, but they seem to have survived the winter, even though everything dried off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start just kind of cutting back a bit, get the dead off if I can, not too cautiously, put it that way, and just see. Maybe we don't have to buy new ones this year. It'd be interesting to find out. But yeah, let's give it a trot back and see if it survives, because it looks like it is, which is crazy. I think just cut only the dead off, but I don't want to spend all day doing this. But yeah, there's lots of kind of new growth in there. Very interesting.